Well, I stayed away from MTV News for as long as I possibly could, guys. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to listen to the annoying cartoon voice of Francesca Ramsey again today. Yuck. I feel like a battered housewife who keeps coming back to her home for more. I told myself to just stay away, but Ramsey keeps pulling me back in with her reverse racism.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
I must be a glutton for punishment or something. Let's just get on with it then. Here's a review of the latest Decoded video called Are Cracker, White Trash, and Redneck Racist? Let's check it out.
Are the terms cracker, white trash, and redneck racist? I wonder who came up with these phrases.
That's the most annoyingly smug face on the planet, and those are two completely separate questions you're asking, Franny. Whether or not those phrases are racist today has little to do with where the words actually came from hundreds of years ago.
Often when we talk about white privilege,
Often you talk about white privilege, Franny, which is fine. I don't agree, but it's fine. If you want to make up magical white people powers that give them all invented privileges, that's fine. But what really grinds my gears is the fact you guys never look into the privileges of other races. For example, affirmative action is a legal privilege for minorities like blacks and Asians. Or women have privileges over men in things like control over pregnancies and rulings at the court. But no, these privileges never come up on MTV's Decoded. It only seems they care about the privileges of white males, because fuck them, right?
a common rebuttal is, I can't be privileged, I grew up poor, or tell that to a homeless person. But being disadvantaged in one area doesn't negate privilege in others.
So basically, even if you're a poor white bum living on the street, you still have privilege over black people? No, that's not the way the world works, Francesca. A war vet with PTSD living on the streets because he can't hold a job? He doesn't have white privilege over a rich black man like Kanye West. No matter how much you want it to be true, it just isn't.
White privilege doesn't erase the existence of poor white people or the challenges they face due to their class. Nor do discussions of white privilege erase the harmful stereotypes about being poor and white.
I don't know what to think here. Am I too stoned for this? Why is she talking about white privilege anyway? This video proposes a pretty simple question. Are cracker, white trash, and redneck racist? To put it simply, yes, those words can obviously be racial slurs. And white privilege, real or not, has nothing to do with these words being a little racist. I think it's funny you start the video with a whole bit about white privilege. Francesca, do you really think you're fooling us anymore? What she's doing here is bringing up white people's illustrious privilege at the beginning to make whites look like elitist assholes. That way, it's much easier to stomach her conclusion, which I'm guessing is that those terms are not racist. You see, in this woman's mind, you can't be racist towards white people. They're in power and enjoy all that white privilege. And at the same time, only blacks can enjoy the victimhood of racism and all the wonderful pity and reparations that comes from that.
Take, for example, the terms cracker, white trash, or redneck. All of these terms have been aggressively used by a white upper class to insult a white underclass. While these terms have become racialized over time, they have a classist origin that goes way back.
But do we really need to go way back to see if these words are racist now? You are aware that it's the present, right? Time travel doesn't exist. Slavery is over. Whites may have been the upper class hundreds of years ago, but that's over too. Your need to go back in time to prove your point on this channel is getting really fucking old.
Let's start with cracker.
Here she goes on and on about the history of the word cracker. It doesn't matter. The word is still racist even though it was used differently 400 years ago.
A letter to the Earl of Dartmouth said, I should explain to your lordship what is meant by crackers.
Here's Cheska going into her classic funny voice again. Totally unbearable.
So this term was started by rich white people to disparage poor white people. It was all about them being poor, not about them being white. Hashtag historical context matters.
Oh, good God. The smugness of this woman could fill a football field.
The term was later used by African American slaves and Northern sympathizers as a shortened version of whip cracker, in reference to the whip-wielding plantation workers. So yes, the word cracker was racialized, but the slaves weren't oppressing poor white people by using the term because they were still slaves.
You see, I knew it. Like I said before, she doesn't think blacks can be racist to whites. She just said the black slaves can't be racist to whites because they're slaves, duh. No, they can still be racist, honey. That's not how this works. Oppressed groups can be racist to their oppressors. Sure, it can be justified and totally warranted racism, but it's still racism.
White trash shows up next. It's believed to have originated in Baltimore in the 1820s as a way for Southern house slaves to disparage poor whites.
That's racist. Blacks using the slur at poor whites? That's racism. I don't know where she's going to get a fuck white people out of this, but what she just said there was black on white racism. Keep that in mind.
It was used to insult farmers in the South who usually had sunburned necks from being outside all day and, having to work. You worker, why don't you go work some more?
And that's what Ramsey would call a joke. Is it very funny? Or even funny at all? You be the judge. I just thought I would point it out in case you missed it. That's her making a joke.
Poor whites weren't any better off, but hey, at least they weren't black. And unfortunately, this strategy has worked for most of American history. Yep.
What the fuck does that mean? Why are we dropping a Trump pic in here? I really don't get this shit. Let's try and break it down though. She explains how rich whites hired poor whites to manage black slaves 150 years ago. Again, a little unnecessary and confusing since the video's topic is, are the words cracker and redneck racist? You assume she means racist now, but maybe she meant 100 years ago. Or maybe Franny just really likes history and bringing up slavery. I mean, she brings that shit up in every fucking video. Anyways, back to the Trump bit. She then says rich whites have used this strategy throughout history, and then a Trump pic pops up. Why? Well, he's a rich white. Is she saying he hires poor whites to manage his black slaves? I don't know. I don't get it. It's all pretty fucking ridiculous. I'm probably looking way too far into this too. I think their goal here was, okay, we've proven that all whites are racist, and now let's show a picture of a prominent rich white guy. We all know Trump is racist because he's white, so he'll probably get an easy laugh too.
So are terms like cracker, white trash, and redneck racist? Well, no. They've been racialized, but they're not racist.
I can't believe you could say that with a straight face, Francesca. Perhaps these words have classist origins, but they can be used in a racist way as well. You just fucking said how white trash was originally used by black slaves to demean poor whites.
White trash shows up next. It's believed to have originated in Baltimore in the 1820s as a way for Southern house slaves to disparage poor whites.
But oh yeah, I forgot. Blacks can't be racist to whites. Basically, nothing is racist when done to whites, and everything is racist when done to blacks. Got it. That's about it for this moron. She rambles on a bit more at the end, some anecdote about someone being racist towards Oprah, completely unrelated. As we can already tell, the conclusion to her premise is this: cracker, white trash, and redneck are not racist because you can't be racist towards white people. This whole concept is completely absurd, and it's a little troubling how comfortable Francesca is in talking down to white people. She doesn't even flinch or hesitate to throw around white racial slurs. She tells white people they're privileged assholes with such ease. It's very strange. Can you imagine if me, a white guy, made a video belittling black racial slurs, saying them all nonchalant, claiming they're not racist? Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Decoded. I'm your host, Francesco Bolzi. Today we're asking the question, are the words coon, porch monkey, and nigger racist? Spoilers! If you go back 200 years in time, these words weren't racist at all. Check it out. Coon is just short for raccoon. It was first used as a slur against the U.S. Whig Party in the 1830s. Wait, the Whigs are white guys? Coon can't be racist then, huh? Now take a look at this obscure quote from 1547. I, Sir Francis II, Duke of Wellington, do decree that all the primates residing in my summer mansion's veranda shall from now on and this day forth be referred to as porch monkeys. Don't you see, guys? Someone else used the phrase differently 400 years ago. Therefore, porch monkeys is not racist now, nor was it ever racist. Now let's look at a fan favorite, the notorious N-word. Is nigger really racist though? Well, apparently nigger is derived from negro, Latin for the color black. Well, calling someone black or white or brown isn't racist. That's just a color. Ha 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 ha. So guess what? By my flawed logic, nigger is not racist either. Yay, white people! Yeah, I don't think that version of the video would ever fly at MTV, or anywhere on TV for that matter. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you want to see more proof of MTV's black bias, take a look at their VMA awards from last week. Almost 90% of the presenters and performers were black, in a country that's only 13% black, mind you. Atheism is Unstoppable did a great review of it, which I will put in the description. That guy's helped influence me a lot, so go check him out. And until next time, may the bull be with you. Always.